Hello and good morning, everybody. Mr. McCarthy here, and this is your video update for Tuesday, November 16th. Sorry, got this update out a little bit late, but there's just a lot going on. All good stuff. We've been very busy, very productive in the program. As you know, the beginning of the marking period, the second marking period started last week, and I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week. So we're chugging right along, trying to get one more good, solid set of lessons in before the break. So just to give you a couple of quick updates, as I said before, the first marking period ended. If you have any questions at all about your students' attendance or grades or progress in the program, you can always ask them. But if you really want to, find out and get all the detailed information, you can easily contact me. You can go to their Schoology page to look at their projects, the PowerSchool page to look at attendance and grades, and as always, you can go on to our classroom website to get all the information about all the projects that they're working on. And all that information can actually be found at the bottom of the email that I attached this video to. So all easy stuff to get to. And if you have any other questions, like I said, please feel free to contact me directly. But all the first year and some of the second year students are working in Adobe Photoshop. Maybe you've heard of it. It's an industry standard software to manipulate photos. So all the students are working on that now. It's a pretty complicated program. So we are going step by step by step, where I do the lesson first, then I guide them along. And as I said before, all the lessons and lectures are also available on the website, so if they need to go back and look at it again. But this is definitely a program they'll be using at least for their time here in the program, and when they go into industry, it is really considered a standard. So I told them just hang in there, they'll get good at it. Took me a while, but eventually it'll just be like an extension of their arm, just working on that program. So, but this week they're actually working on creating, they're pulling a picture of a person, a place, and a thing off the internet, and then combining them all together into a collage. Also making what's called a bowl of fruit. So I have a picture of a bowl and 6 pieces of fruit, and they have to find a way to trace them all out, put them all together in the bowl and make it look real. So that's pretty challenging, but you can ask to see their work, and they should have it on them if you want to see it. So we're just going to continue on. The end of the week, hopefully they're going to create their own Nike shoe design. I give them a template, and then they'll design the shoe using what they've learned in Adobe Photoshop. And then really, next week is a short week, Monday, Tuesday, and some students have a half day on Wednesday. I'm not sure which schools. Please check your calendar. But really, we want to try and get everything done by this week, maybe a little bit more next. But when they all come back, we're hoping to start photography for a lot of the kids. They're pretty excited about that. As far as the second and third level students, the thirds are still working on their independent projects. Where they are, some are working on a yearbook, some are working on their own music album, some are doing their own design, some are doing animation. It's some pretty cool stuff, but feel free to ask your senior, say, hey, what are you working on? And they'll be happy to tell you. And like I said, if you need more information, you can ask me. Second level students are still editing videos. It's a pretty complicated process, and they're actually going to watch some movie clips and understand how movies are edited, because that's probably one of the most important parts of a movie is how it's edited. And they actually talk about Star Wars, the original, the first one that I saw when I was 7 years old, how important it was, the editing process was to have that movie done, and how it probably would have failed the way it would have been released as it was shot. So editing played a huge role in that movie and created that gigantic franchise that we all know today. So really, that's kind of what's going on in here. As I said before, we have our Skills USA students. We have our class president, treasurer, secretary, and vice president. We're holding some regular meetings now. Some students will be able to, after the new year, compete in some competitions like in music, sound, and video, where they can actually go to a state competition. I'll get more into that later. But pretty exciting time right now, like I said, as we wind down to the holiday. But we got a lot of work to do before then. And my first level students also have an exploratory project where they have to photograph texture with their smartphones. So it's just a nice thing to get them to be creative and use their phones in a way to be productive. But to also, use their minds creatively to look at things differently. So if you see them taking pictures around the house of fabric or clothing or pets or anything like that, it's for a project. So hopefully they are doing that. But that's it for this week. I will send out one more update before Thanksgiving just to let you know what's going on. And if you need anything until then, please let me know. Thanks very much and take care.